What's up, everyone? Matt here, and welcome to the first episode of Down Once More Pod in 2024. We're going to kick off the year with a mini episode taking a look at the upcoming movie musicals that will be coming to theaters in 2024, at least as of now. As we all know from this past year especially, release dates are always subject to change, delays happen, strikes happen, things happen. But as of now, this is what's going to be coming out in 2024. I do want to just pause before I get into that. We currently have two movie musicals in theaters right now. We got Wonka, the prequel movie starring Timothée Chalamet, and we have The Color Purple in theaters with a stacked cast in it with Halle Bailey, who's from the live action Little Mermaid. So many other people in that. I have not had a chance to go see either of them, but now is a great time for movie musicals. We're about to have three movie musicals in theaters at the same time with Wonka, The Color Purple, and then Mean Girls, which is releasing on January 12th, which is our first movie musical that is releasing in 2024. So they're doing early previews starting on Wednesday the 10th. On Wednesday, We Wear Pink, a fan early release event. If you've watched the 2000s Mean Girl with Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, all those great people, the classic, then you are familiar with it. This Mean Girls version, I've talked about quite a bit on here actually, is a musical adaptation of it, I think released in 2017. On Broadway, it stars Renee Rapp, reprising a role from Broadway as Regina George. We also have Angourie Rice playing Katie. Jaquel Spivey is in it. Ali Carvalho's in it. So many other people in it. Tina Fey and Tim Meadows are reprising their roles from the original movie. Jenna Fischer's in it. Busy Phillips is in it. It's got a great cast. It's stacked. It's directed by Samantha Jane and Arturo Perez Jr., who I'm not very familiar with. Most of their work has been in short films, directing that. But I'm seeing this movie on the 13th. If we're able to coordinate and both be able to see it, that will be our movie review for January. If not, I'll give a quick brief rundown of my initial quick hitter thoughts on a mini episode, and then we'll talk about it later in the year once it's out on digital. But that's our first movie musical coming to theaters January 12th. After that, a large break and kind of an unknown, well, one that people may not be familiar with, is on October 4th, Joker, Folie à Deux, is supposed to be releasing in theaters. We'll see if there's any delays with that. I haven't seen much coming out from this movie. They released some new stills, I think, on Christmas Eve for it. This is Todd Phillips, the director of The Hangover. He did the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix a few years ago, a very dark, gritty, not kind of traditional take on what people would expect. And it was a hit, and the sequel is going to be a musical, apparently, so they say, so they claim, and Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn in it, who you may be familiar with. Margot Robbie has been portraying Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad movies. Kaylee Cuoco has been portraying Harley Quinn in the animated Harley Quinn series over on Max, and so I'm really excited to see Lady Gaga's take of this, and I'm really excited to see where this goes if they are really fully committing it and taking it in the musical direction. I do want to clarify this has no relation to the Fall Out Boy album, Folie à Deux, but the definition of that is delusion or mental illness shared by two people in close association, which if you are familiar at all with Harley Quinn and the Joker's relationship, perfect kind of subtitle to this movie, to the sequel. Glad they're not just going with Joker 2. It would not fit the aesthetic, the aura is not the right word for it, the vibe of the film at all. So this is one I'm really intrigued by. I feel like it could be really good. Lady Gaga has a great voice. She was great in A Star Is Born. Joaquin Phoenix is a fantastic actor. He was really good in Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash biopic. And so we'll see. I'm excited about that. That's October 4th. So we got a big gap from January to October in movie musicals. Next, at least as of now, where it stands, on November 27th is when John M. Chu's Wicked Part 1 is set to release in theaters. As we've discussed in here before, this stars Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba. We've got Ariana Grande as Glinda or Galinda, the Good Witch. And then you've also got Jonathan Bailey starring as Fiyero and Ethan Slater starring as the Munchkin Bach. There's been lots of tabloid drama behind it because Ariana Grande, Ethan Slater are apparently now in a relationship, broke up. Ethan Slater's relationship, I think maybe marriage, engagement, something like that. Now they're dating. This obviously they had started filming prior to the strike. Then it got delayed and affected by the strike. Now they've resumed filming, is my understanding. Or actually, they might have finished filming part one. I don't know. This is uninformed of me. But we have seen some leaked set photos, which I'd say I've only seen it because this getting shoved in my face over on X. But wait, see how the director, how everyone intends for it to be seen, seem blurry, zoomed in photos. This is a big thing. Ryan Reynolds went out and put out a statement about it because the same thing's happening. They're filming Deadpool 3 right now and just talking about this is why people complain about everything's on a green screen these days. But when they try to film it out in the wild, then paparazzi and everyone's just trying to get these pictures and leak and ruin cool moments from the films. So don't partake in leaks. Really excited about Wicked Part 1. I thought John M. Chu did a great job directing Crazy Rich Asians. He did really well with In the Heights. There were a couple choices on there that I thought that I didn't love, but we were taking a hand with Lin-Manuel Miranda on that. I loved In the Heights. We haven't talked about it yet on here. I'm pretty positive that will be one that we talk about in 2024 because it's been on my list for a while and we were gonna do it, and then it got pulled off Max for a little bit of time. And so we try to do movies that are easily accessible to people on here so you can watch, you can enjoy it, you can know what we're talking about as well. The final one that has a release date in 2024 right now, there's a couple animated one and a few other ones that don't have any set release dates that people are thinking are coming out in 2024 right now, but nothing's confirmed. Next one is going to be on December 20th. Mufasa the Lion King is set to be released. Now, this is a prequel to The Lion King about Mufasa and Scar growing up. Mufasa, it's directed by Barry Jenkins, who won the Oscar Academy Award for Moonlight. And he's done If Beale Street Could Talk. A really good director, which I was surprised to see him doing this. So I have high hopes for this. It is announced that this is going to be a musical. I was kind of curious if they were going to do all the musical elements or not. It is saying it's a musical. Aaron Pierre is voicing Mufasa, and then Kelvin Harrison Jr., who was in Cyrano, when we talked about that, and was in Chevalier, which I talked about on here as well. He is playing Scar, also known as Taka in the film. And it sounds like the movie's going to follow their relationship, Scar and Mufasa, as brothers a lot in here. So I'm really intrigued by this movie as well. We don't know much about it. There's just like the announcement of the title. We don't have any teasers, trailers. It was affected by the strike too. It was filming and then all this stuff happened. So we'll see if it's able to hit its release date of December 20th. I know Disney's been doing, mainly on the Marvel side of things, some shakeups with timelines and trying to give their post-production teams more time to flesh things out, their writing team more time to flesh things out and tell good stories, because there was some pretty heavy backlash, both with visual effects teams just talking about being overworked, underpaid, everything like that. And then just in general from fans with the 2023 Marvel slate was panned pretty straight across the board. But as we discussed on here, I don't think the Marvels should have been. So that's it for what's announced for movie musicals in 2024. I'm sure there will be some other ones that sneak in there, some more animated ones that'll probably pop up here and there. And then I don't know if there's any new filmed Broadway versions like Waitress and Titanic that came out this past year. Waitress is set to have a digital release on January 23rd. So that's when they're planning on that coming out. We'll probably talk about that at some point later this year once Rayleigh has a chance to see it too. I really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite musicals that I saw in 2023. And then just learning more about the story about the Waitress, the movie itself, and musical, how it got produced, made, everything behind that. Some almost Jonathan Larson similarities there with the writer and director. of Waitress as well that I want to talk about and get into. But that's the slate. We got 4 movie musicals coming out as of now. First one coming out, Mean Girls, January 12th. Make sure you go support these. If you're interested in them at all, go support them in theaters. Let's Hollywood know musicals can do well. I've heard mixed things about Wonka. I've heard fairly solid things about The Color Purple. I don't know much about The Color Purple. I have never seen the original movie, but from what I know, it's a pretty dark, sad story. And the trailers that they're portraying for the musical, very bright, colorful, not seeming that way. So it'll be interesting to see if people weren't familiar with the story, their take on it. I was hearing some rumors. Again, I know nothing about this, so I probably shouldn't say anything. So disregard if I'm wrong. That they changed in the movie. They left out a bunch of songs from the musical, and then they added a bunch of new ones. So they changed a lot up for the movie version of this. I don't know if that's true. Sorry for spreading fake news if it's not, but go support musicals. That's what's coming up in 2024. For the pod, things are crazy for Rayleigh and I right now. Bear with us. The schedule in January and even February might be a little up in the air. We might end up doing our joint episodes in weeks 3 and 4 instead of weeks 2 and 4. We might do a couple extra mini episodes thrown in there as we get our footing. Spoiler alert, not really a spoiler. This is no longer my home office. My company at Everyone returned to office now, so this is now strictly a spare room and recording studio. So I might shake things up in here a bit. But that being returned to office adds another basically hour and a half to my workday with commute, things like that. Recording, editing, timelines are tighter, things are crazier. I want to get better this year. So my goals for 2024 for the podcast, get better with doing clips on YouTube, clips on Reels, TikToks, things like that. Smaller bites of content out for you guys, kind of streamline the editing process, everything like that. Want to put out a better product, and something that you all enjoy, watch, listen to. Let us know in the comments. DM us if you don't want to leave a comment on YouTube. DM us over on Instagram. Let us know what you want to see from the podcast in 2024. If you have any suggestions, critiques, things that you think can make it better. If you have something that you're dying to talk about, a musical or something, Rayleigh and I have mentioned this before. We're happy to bring more people on, have guests, mix things up. It'd be fun. This year, I think will be the year that we bring Pat on to talk about Grease 2. We need to make that happen because we've been going back and forth on that. And I still have not watched Grease 2 because I'm waiting until we record it. I know Pat feels very strongly about that being the superior Grease movie. So that will happen in 2024. I'm saying it now. Love you all. Thanks for watching, listening, however you partake. Like, comment, share, all that fun stuff. We love to see the engagement. Love that you all are taking your time out to listen to us with everything that's out there podcast wise and just media and content in general. Those of you that watch, listen regularly, you guys rock. You're awesome. Have a fantastic 2024. We're wrapping it up there. And don't forget to go down once more. Later.